stepping into the shoes of our ancestors, walking a walk that brings some emotion.
Just the horrors of being an enslaved person here in Virginia, and then being possibly separated from your family and being sold downriver.
The Black Catholics of Richmond organizing this 4.5-mile walk on the Richmond Slave Trail for several years is a way to continue the push for justice.
Sharing information about the Catholic Church's role in slavery, but also the Catholic Church's role in resurrection and fighting against slavery as well. To know the history and acknowledge it is an important step to making sure it never happens again. Nigeria speaks the same language. No, different dialects, right? So we have these enslaved Africans from different countries and tribes. They may not understand each other, so that's scary. You made it this far, that's scary. You're wondering what's the unknown, what's happening next, that's scary. And this noise is not here, everything is wooded, the river and the whole 9 yards. And you're wondering what's going to happen next, okay? It might be dark, it may be raining.
I got this kind of theme, you kept mentioning the word, of course, resurrection.
Yes.
And I also feel like, in a way, you're almost kind of living in a modern day kind of repentance of everything.
Yes, we are. Okay. Yes, we are. Yeah, I think that's important. Whenever we're talking about information and facts that's depressing, and we can't go back and change, it's always important to talk about resurrection stories that occurred during that time, because it gave people hope back then, and I would like to think that it gives us hope today. It was awful as that dark period was with slavery. There were people who overcame it, you know, in communities, and while it still has impact on us. There were 300,000, y'all hear me? 300,000 slaves were sold out of Richmond, which began the downriver trade. 300,000.
One of the major impacts is that I get to learn true history, right? And so being able to walk the route that many of my ancestors have walked and understand the path and struggle that they had, and being able to appreciate what I have.
The great, I want to say Nelson Mandela was one of the architects of saying that too.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he thinks a lot.
There will be a segment of the population who may say, "Oh man, yeah, this was years ago."
Years ago, yeah.
But obviously there are residual, but you kept using that word, residual impacts that still occur throughout history.
Oh, so absolutely, yeah.
That's important. Well, anything else you want to share or just say to people?
Well, I think it's always moving when you share the information or participate in the walk. Each time I learn something different. And it's very moving when we do the exercise where people talk about their childhoods, was slavery and racism talked about. Yeah. And the stories that they share are very powerful. And people come away feeling informed, but also transformed.
Right.
You can't do this walk unless you're transformed. Your being is transformed in terms of what people went through. And if they can go through that and make it in life, we can too. You know. Yeah.
Deacon Frank, thank you so much.
No, thank you. No, God bless you, man. God bless you. God bless you. Good luck in your travels, huh?
They do what? Mapping land. What else they do to land? They map land so they can steal it. They steal land. They take land. At that time, England wanted to buy land in the United States. I know we learned something. I know I learned something.
Times have changed for the better.
Times have changed for the better, okay?
Well, so Andre, I grew up in an entirely white county. I grew up in an entirely black Detroit. So
okay.
We're kind of parallel but different.
Good experiences, but some parallel stuff, huh? Okay. Somebody else.
Okay. Any other thoughts before we move on? Alrighty, so we're to talk about the Atlantic slave trade. Africa's coming up James River, up this far. They're being shipped off to tobacco fields. I flunked science in college, so as I was told, tobacco does something to the